I'm Jennifer Marie Keller. Welcome to my Diary of a Pregnant Artist series. I just finished up my 25th week of pregnancy. This week, I've been doing a lot of research with finding articles and any tips and advice from work-at-home parents for how they manage to work while taking care of a baby or a toddler at home. And everyone seems to agree that if you can't have a babysitter or take them to daycare or a nanny or anything like that, which that'll also be in the foreseeable future, at least we won't be having any access to that as well. It seems like everyone agrees that you pretty much get the work done whenever you can squeeze in bits of time throughout the day. So a lot of it seems to be when the baby or kid is napping. So getting up before they wake up for their day, or working when they go to sleep for the night, or also like during their nap times. Or also if the kid is old enough to understand quiet time, so they can be playing independently beside you and know not to interrupt you unless there's an emergency for 1 or 2 hours. Basically, it just seems like you get a little bit done here and there whenever you can manage to squeeze out that time. And it also seems like it's not like super consistent from day to day either, which is going to be a lot different from how I work now, because with my studio, I like to work from life as much as I can and from natural light. So I paint during very specific times during the day for my different projects, depending on what I'm working on. And I wait for the sun to get in the perfect spot where the light's coming in my studio really beautifully. And so I have a fairly rigid schedule then for how I paint each day consistently. But that seems completely unrealistic now for when my baby comes to keep a rigid schedule like that. So I've decided, instead of working strictly from natural light and strictly from life, I am going to start playing around and figure out how to get really nice photo references. So then I should be able to work whenever the time shows itself that I'm able to. So then the sun can either be up in the perfect position or it can be down or whenever. For my still lifes though, I think I'll still, if it's reasonable, have my still life set up for the whole duration of working on that still life painting. And so I can still reference that from life if I want, but then also having the photo reference. So I can reference the photo reference, which will then always have the right light hitting the subject in the photo reference. So at the start of this week, I've been doing a lot of research then for how to take really good photo references. And then now for the rest of the week, I plan to just be playing around with my camera to really practice that and make sure that I can get good enough photo references for my painting. But I think doing this just makes a lot of sense, and it definitely helps me feel better about the future, making it just as easy as possible on myself to continue to be working as much as I can and as much as I want to, while also taking care of a baby. Now, as far as my pregnancy's been going for the 25th week, it's still been going pretty well recently, with my energy being up for the most part and feeling pretty good. And all of my aches and pains are a lot less and just seem a lot more manageable. One thing that has happened though, I've never had acid reflux before my pregnancy. And then when I got pregnant, I had it a little bit, but taking Tums pretty much helped with it. But it's been getting pretty intense these last 2 weeks, which is distracting when I work and when I'm trying to sleep. So I talked to my doctor and she got or prescribed me an antacid, so I'll be taking that soon. So hopefully that'll help offset that. And I also haven't done prenatal yoga in about 2 weeks. And so at the start of this week, I decided to do a prenatal yoga sequence. And each week my belly obviously gets bigger and bigger. And I feel like since it's like towards the end of my second trimester now, it feels like it gets bigger each week as the baby's getting bigger faster, it feels like. So then when I was doing this prenatal yoga sequence that I haven't done in a while, my balance has really shifted quite a lot. And so I was kind of stumbling all over the place. It's prenatal yoga, so it's very, very safe. So I'm not gonna like fall or hurt myself or anything. But yeah, I could just feel my balance being completely off just from 2 weeks, which seems pretty drastic. And also going into going in and out of down dog where you're inverting yourself. My baby was moving around a lot during that too, because he's probably getting flipped upside down and right side up. So he was moving around like crazy. So it was a very strange, and weird experience. But since my energy has definitely been up and I've been working more and painting more and just on my feet more, I'm gonna try and incorporate yoga back into my weekly routine. So, because it definitely helps from painting most of the day, having my body be stiff and sore, the yoga definitely really helps. And that's pretty much everything for my 25th week of pregnancy. Been feeling pretty good and being able to work a lot. If you do want to see my work, you can follow my Instagram at Jennifer Marie Painting, and then you can kind of see that aesthetic change in the look of my paintings that I've been talking about in other videos.